talk about a mistake that we made and turned it into a positive. Let's just get straight into it. This is a bonus episode of Big Business. And in case you didn't know, I come out with 2 episodes every week. And today is a little bonus episode where we just do a bit more casual, aren't we? Come on, Xander, get in here.
I'm here. We're just saying how wrecked we are from the Kylie concert on the weekend.
Yeah, why are we both so exhausted even though we just attended? And we're in the audience. Imagine actually being on tour.
I know. I danced so much though. It was ridiculous. But tell me about this little mistake you've made. I want to hear all about it.
So this is the second time ever that this has happened to us in the history of Fate, which I think is a really lucky thing. It's inevitable when you're making products that every now and then things are going to slip through the cracks and mistakes are going to happen. Sorry, I'm really keep burping because of this V.
It's the apple.
And so, if any of you make products, you'll know things can go wrong, things can turn out differently to what you thought, even though you've checked everything 1,000 times and you've done all your sampling. Sometimes things can just still show up and it can be wrong. And who knows? Human error. And I think that's something that consumers need to be, more mindful of, I think. For example, let's say we're launching a new top that's got buttons down the front or whatever, and someone might receive one and maybe there's just a button missing altogether, and I think it's a lot of people are really nice, but some people, if you've sent that to the wrong person and there's a button missing or the zip is just broken or whatever, people are so quick to be this showed up and it has a button missing and how am I supposed to wear this, blah, blah, blah. But human errors happen. And clothing is made by humans. Everything. There's lots of machines that make shit these days, but mistakes happen. Even with massive businesses, mistakes happen every day. So we've had, as I said, this has happened once before. I think it was 2-ish years ago. Yeah, maybe 2 years ago, we were making these corset tops from a silky suede kind of fabric. And corsets are quite technical because they've got boning in them and everything. And I don't know where along the line, but somehow, again, it slipped through the cracks. And I know we spoke about this in this week's main episode about sampling until you get your products perfect. And these corsets showed up 2 years ago and we just got some of them out and I tried one of them on and I noticed that the straps were just too long. And they were just kind of flopping off my shoulder. They weren't staying up on my shoulder. And that was partly on us for not making it an adjustable shoulder strap. It was just a fixed size, but it's because it was this silky suede material. It just didn't feel like the kind of fabric that you'd put in a slider on. And then I was shit, these straps have turned out way too long. And it was a thing, on some people, they would have been fine. And then on others, not. And to me, I'm not the kind of brand where I'm going to put that out into the world if it's going to come back to me, oh, these straps are falling off my shoulders, So we sat on them for ages and I kind of went back to my suppliers and had conversations with them, trying to figure out what went wrong kind of thing. And for a couple of months, I just had these corsets. I think we had 4 colours in the corset. It was our first corset that we've ever made as well. Maybe that's on us for trying to go too technical with an item. We just need to keep it simple, T-shirts. And we sat on them for ages and I was what are we going to do with these? Because we donate a lot of clothing, through Fate, whether it's returns that have come back that have foundation on them or whatever. We just hold on to stuff and then we donate it. But this was a lot of corsets. There was hundreds. And I was I'm not going to go drop all these at Vinnie's. They're going to have hundreds of corsets. So I said why don't we just give them away for free in orders as just a gift with purchase kind of thing. And we'd never done this before. We'd never had an item go wrong where I'm just sitting on all this stock and I'm certainly not going to just throw them out, landfill. And so I didn't plan it properly, but I made a video and I think we posted it to TikTok and I don't know if we posted it to Instagram, but it was basically me in the warehouse I got one each of the 4 corsets and I just said, it wasn't really like a marketing tactic at the time. It was just me making a video. And I said, we've got these corsets and like we've stuffed them up kind of thing. So today, like what we're going to do this week is just randomly chuck them in orders. And it was more a video of me just telling people that mistakes happen. And I didn't think it through properly. Like I didn't say, comment below if you want one, or I didn't say, use this code if you want one. Like I just said, we're just going to be chucking them in orders. And that video absolutely blew up, especially on TikTok. It blew up. And like I didn't think this in my head at the time, but then like everyone was rushing to our website, placing an order of anything, like, even just like one of our combs or our key rings. And then the comments were flooded with, I just placed my order. My order number's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I please have a corset in a size 16, And I was like, oh, fuck. Like I didn't realize everyone would want these. And I like showed the corsets in the video and I just said the straps are just a bit too long. If someone has bigger boobs, they might like it because like they can kind of fill out the corset a bit more and the strap will be tighter on the shoulder. I was like, these might be really good for bigger busted people, but I don't have an overly big bust, so I can't say. And so we just put that video out and then like everyone went to our website to order in hopes of getting one of the corsets. And I was like, oh my God, how do we now actually monitor this? Because I didn't really set it up as like a giveaway or anything. Like I was just kind of talking about, because what we had planned to do was as orders came through like normal, if someone was ordering a size 16, we were just going to chuck in a size 16 corset just as a gift. And I'd also gotten like on Vistaprint or something, like a heap of little cards, like I think 1,000 cards that said, hey, like this is a corset that isn't quite perfect, but maybe you might fit it, or maybe like if someone was handy, they could shorten the strap kind of thing, like a DIY. So that was the way I was going to communicate it to people that we were giving it to, is just put the little note in their order and off they go. And so it absolutely blew up and everyone wanted a corset. And I was like, oh, what the hell? Like this was such a success when I didn't think it was going to be that. And I wasn't intentionally making the video as a giveaway. I didn't say, let us know if you want one or whatever. Like it was just, we're just chucking them in orders kind of thing. And so that was 2 years ago. And every now and then AJ would say, remember that corset video that just like absolutely blew up? And so anyway, last year we were coming out with red pieces for Christmas, like in our cotton linen range. And I can't remember how many items we ended up actually releasing. But anyway, one of them turned out wrong, which is a dress of ours. And basically, again, somewhere along the line, a measurement has gone wrong. And this was like a double-lined dress. So 2 layers of fabric, and the lining on the inside was stitched to the outer, but the inner lining was a little bit too short, but then it was stitched. So it was like pulling the outside of the dress up underneath, like kind of creating like a puckering around like the thigh area, because it's like a mini dress. And so we noticed this when we were shooting, like for the website, that the lining was puckering. And again, what we did with the corsets originally was we then contacted, so this is 2 years ago, we contacted a local seamstress because I was like, let's fix these corsets. So we had this lady come and pick up a couple, and she took a few away to see if she could shorten the straps and how long it would take her, because there was like 700 corsets back then. And so we went back and forth with her for a bit, but it was going to end up costing us like a shit ton of money, and we'd already spent all the money like getting the corsets made, so we never ended up doing it. And so then when these dresses arrived last year, again, I had that thought, oh, this is an actual really easy fix, because all you have to do is like cut the lining away from the outer, and the outer will drop down, and then you'll still have your 2 layers of fabric. They just won't be joined and puckering. And again, I'm like, oh, do we get these fixed? Do we get someone local to, unstitch all the lining? And then I just thought, nah, like, let's just do the corset thing again, because we knew that it was such a success last time. But this time, I guess I saw it as more of like a marketing opportunity, whereas last time I just chucked up this random corset video and it absolutely blew up. So we have done it again, and someone actually commented on the video, hope you make more mistakes again soon, which was really funny. But we made the video and posted it last week. But this time I was more tactical. Is that the word? tactical, I don't know, with my approach so that everyone that wanted one would definitely get one. Whereas last time it was like a lucky draw, like place an order and maybe they were going to get one.
And how did you manage that? How did you decide
how to do
how to
it?
do it?
So basically, because the last time I did it, we didn't guarantee anyone that they were going to get one, but also I didn't like encourage people to place an order. Like people just started going and placing all these orders and I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was going to happen. So what I did this time to ensure that people definitely got one of these dresses was I created a series of discount codes. Now, because we have sizes 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. We've got all of our sizes. So I went and made a discount code for each size. So there's Maven 6, Maven 8, Maven 10, Maven 12. I did a discount code for every single size that we had. We counted the stock so we knew exactly how many of each that we had to give away. And then what you can do on Shopify is when you're setting up a discount code, you can limit the amount of times it can be used in total. So then I put in each discount code how many times it can be used before the discount code will no longer work. And that's how I did it. So then in this video this time around, I said, use the discount code with your size. If you go to use it and it's no longer working, that means it's all gone. So then that way, everyone that used a code knew they're definitely going to get one. Whereas last time it was just people placing an order and hoping for the bloody best.
It also takes the pressure off you as well because now you're not panicking as to people hounding the comments being like, oh,
I didn't
send me
get
one,
one.
send me
Yeah.
one. Now you're like, cool. They're already going to be designated to the orders anyway. And so I don't need to stress about like letting anyone down. Like it's very plain
it was very
and
much
clear.
like that last time with the corsets. It was like, I placed an order and I didn't get a corset. And I was like, oh my God, we didn't like guarantee that anyone was going to get one. I was just kind of saying we're chucking these in orders randomly. So this time I made sure to do it this way so that, you know, no one essentially misses out. If they put the code in and it worked, they got a corset. And if the code no longer worked, they knew that the corsets, why am I saying corsets? The dress, they knew the dress was all gone.
How fast did they all go?
Like within an hour.
Wow.
I know.
How many were there?
Maybe 300 or 400.
That's crazy though.
So
wow.
not as many as the corsets that we had because it was just a one dress, whereas when we had the corsets, there was like 4 different colours. And so they were gone so quickly. And again, like I did this remembering like the corset video from 2 years ago, but I didn't know if it would have the same impact as it did last time. But to my surprise, like it did extremely well and all the codes were used pretty quickly and then people did start commenting like, oh my God, the code's not working. Does that mean it's gone already kind of thing? But everyone got really excited about it. And I mean, it's a great and positive thing because then we got orders and the little codes that I made up. I also just made them like a 5% off code as well. Like I didn't have to make it a discounted code. I was like, I'll give them 5% off too for placing an order and they get the free dress. But it's just turning a negative into a positive. And I guess it's like a cool marketing thing to do. But also like this is definitely not something that I would want to rely on or become known for, even though it seems to have an extremely successful success rate.
Yeah.
You don't want to be having to do this kind of stuff all the time.
But these are great stories and it's almost great advice for any other business owners out there when things can go wrong like this. How can you turn that negative into such a great positive?
I've seen a lot of people, especially on TikTok, make mistakes with things. Like I've seen people make like journals and, you know, some of the writing inside the book is wrong or there might be spelling errors, or I've seen people who make, like, I can't think of them specifically, but I know one girl owns this makeup brush. Shout out if you're listening because I feel like someone's going to send this to her. I think it might be called Saint Jack. I can't be 100% sure. But I saw one time she makes this makeup brush cleaner, like liquid, and like her logos on her packaging were like rubbing off or something. And so like these people, they just go to their social media audience and say, you know, all the packaging of this is wrong, kind of like the imperfect fruit at the shops, you know, whereas like it's still fine. Like her makeup brush cleaner was perfect to use, but the logo was rubbing off, or I can't exactly remember. And then she'd put them up on the website, but like at an extremely discounted rate because it's imperfect packaging. And I think this all comes back to if you are transparent with your audience and you have that close relationship with your audience and community online that you've built.
Tip of the week, be transparent.
Yeah, exactly right. Be transparent. That was our tip of the week. You can kind of admit your mistakes as a business owner to your community and they can go, damn, well, that sucks, but like, cool, I'll have one of these makeup brush bottles that are a bit imperfect, or I'll take the dress, you know, that has the puckering lining and I can just cut it. So you really can like have something go wrong and turn it into a positive thing. And people are always happy if something isn't completely perfect, you know, like the imperfect fruit and whatever. And especially if someone's getting a good deal or they're getting a free gift with their purchase, or if they're getting something at 50% off because something went wrong, like people will still enjoy that, I think. So
it's almost like a legacy item from that store. If you love that store, you're going to be like, I have this imperfect piece that no one else will ever have.
Yeah, people are going to be getting around in the red Maven dress and then they're going to know that they got that for free. And again, like that's creating like brand awareness for you and creating a memory for your customers. Now, I'm not saying go out there and make a mistake on purpose, but you know, if you ever do have something not turn out not quite right, like I think you can create content around it and share that story with your community and still turn it into a positive. And that's exactly what we've done with the Maven dress. Touch wood, I don't have to do it again. Like I think 2 things going wrong in all of our years is really fortunate. And again, I don't want to become the brand that makes mistakes all the time, although that's a fucking clever business idea right there if anyone wants to take it. Like become known for like making products that are a bit wacky and then sell them for cheaper. I don't know. That's a good little idea there. Sandy, you're sitting there like, oh, I could do this.
Finally, my big break.
Yeah, it's not the best look, but I think in a way it is. It makes your brand more human to go, look, we've stuffed something up and we're not perfect, because nothing in business is perfect. I'm not perfect and mistakes happen. So that's a little bonus app for you of us turning something a little negative into positive. And don't be disheartened if something turns out wrong with you in your business journey. Mistakes happen to everyone, no matter how big or small your business is. It's all about how you act and move forward. I think that's what matters the most.